Good Wednesday morning, everybody. January 31st, just south of Atlanta. If I could sing an Aerosmith song or play it and not be flagged by YouTube, it would probably go like, I'm back in the saddle again. That's right, October 7th is the last time that I was on this bike. I dumped it on the Smokey Mountain 500. Had to ride all the way back to two wheels of such as with broken tibia, drive myself home. So needless to say, I haven't been on this bike since October 7th. So my first ride out, I said, well, you know what, I want to wait till it gets 50 degrees before I head out. We're not quite there, upper 40s, but I thought I would do a short ride. So the significance of January 31st and the celebratory ride is twofold. One, 13 years ago today, I retired from law enforcement and moved to Georgia. So that's always a good thing when you're done and you're retired and doing what you want. Number two is 10 years ago today marks when my wife became cancer-free. So technically this is our, what we always deem as our unofficial birthdays. New life to both of us on January 31st. So I'm going to do a quick ride just to get back on the bike and then take her and my daughter out to dinner tonight. Also one of the main things I wanted to do is get back on the bike, make sure everything is right. There was no structural damage to anything, nothing to the fairings, anything other than my leg. I put T-Rex crash bars on this bike for a reason. They held up great. Had a little bit of gravel rash on them where I went down, and all I did was spray paint them over with flat black. I didn't even sand them down to smooth it out. I figured the little divots would add some character. So other than that, I think everything's good. The day that I crashed and had to ride back 58 miles to get the bike trailered, I was in so much pain that I could have been running on 2 flat tires for all I knew. And okay, we're in the little town of Harrelson, Georgia. If you're a Walking Dead fan, they did a lot of filming here. I think it was during season 2 and 3. They do tours and stuff down here. So it's a pretty cool little area. Might recognize some of the stuff from the show. Been down through here before, and like I said, this is whatever season it was, 2 or 3, where Daryl's brother Merrill got killed by the governor, and the shootout was at that little location right there. So pretty cool little place. Like I said, they do tours on the weekend, and then there's a little Walking Dead shop over here somewhere. Never been to it yet, but little town, little gas station up here. Usually on weekends also has some people out there doing smoking, and you get some good barbecue over there as well. So we're out in Meriwether County, which used to be, I mean it still is, a rural county with beautiful property out here. But with the urban sprawl from Atlanta moving south and everything, land values out here have went through the roof, just like everywhere else. But it's still a really pretty county. Some nice property up here. We're getting ready to head into Gay, Georgia here, which is a small little, normally sleepy town. 2 weeks out of the year though, every spring and fall, they will have street festival, arts, craft shows, and the tiny little town of Gay right here comes alive. Be thousands of people that come down here for the event. Pretty cool little old town. The Cotton Fair is the name of their event. And that's the one in May, I believe. I think it's the first Sunday of May, first weekend of May. Really neat little town. And I know I can turn left here and go back towards the dirt road to the bridge, but instead I'm going to take the pavement down and then come back out this way. I love the signs that say the pavement ends. And this is coming up on the bridge here. As you can see, they've got it's got a bridge weight. I think it's 3 tons. So they've got a height requirement here. So they've got this posted up. So a big truck, probably going to be too heavy like an F-250. But really cool bridge. So we'll take a quick cruise through it and then get off and take some pictures. And they've got a nice picnic area set up over here. You can tell that recently the creek came over the banks because there's a lot of fresh sand over on the picnic area. So nice little ride. It's only like 30 miles from my house to get down here. Really cool bridge. It was built by a freed slave. I think he built a couple more bridges around the country, or around the state of Georgia. All right, good thing is you exit this way, you jump out, and on a probably a couple mile long little dirt road. Just gonna take it easy. I filled up my tires and I'm probably a couple pounds too heavy. We had good rain yesterday, so I don't know if it soaked it in or not, so maybe a little mud, but let's take it a little bit easy and get some red dirt road riding in here, heading back to the house. So it looks like probably soaked most of the rain in because it's actually in pretty good shape. Now the one thing that I've discovered since I dropped the bike back in October is that I found out that the Georgia Adventure Trail runs parallel down to where our lake property is. And in fact, every time that we've ever drove down to the lake on Highway 16, we cross the turn that either goes north or south. I've taken the south in the pickup truck, and it's nice road like this, gravel road, goes through the national forest and everything. And there's a creek crossing that you'll go across, but I haven't done it on a bike yet. So like I said, this is the first time since October that I've actually been on a bike. So before long, I plan on doing those sections of the Georgia Adventure Trail. And also the good thing about the lake property is we got a ton of dirt roads down there. We said the leg's feeling good. A couple of weeks ago was really, I guess, my first test on it. We took the side-by-sides over the top trails, and that's the video before this one, if you haven't seen it yet. And even though you're sitting, you still have to get out, walk around on the hills, the slants and ruts and everything else, and knee actually felt pretty good. So still been trying to work on some exercises to strengthen everything up and be ready to go here another month or two, get back at it, finish what I started. So yeah, it seems a little bit colder than it was on my way down here. So I'm in my crotch rocket tuck position on my powerful single-cylinder 40 horsepower KLR 652cc engine. I'm freezing my ass off. And I just passed a deputy. I don't know if it was Georgia State Patrol that was on this side of the road. I was only doing 58, and I know my speedometer is slow, so probably 54. But let's see if he comes after me. He probably thought I was doing 130 since I was down in a tuck position, freezing my ass off. We'll see. Atlanta police officer, so yeah, he's slightly out of his jurisdiction. So for all that worry, nothing. Guess he lives down here. He's just probably trying to get his butt to work. And he's like, all right, get your slow ass KLR self out of my way. Oh well. One last thing that I wanted to talk about, I talked briefly about it on the Smokey Mountain 500 video, was the clutch bypass. So this is a 2022 KLR, so it is fuel injected. You know, I read a lot of, you know, pros and cons on it. So I bought a switch. It was like 12 bucks for the switch, so not a big deal. Literally takes 30 seconds to switch in and out, to go from the bypass back to the stock. My feelings on the clutch bypass from riding on it so far. I think it's an okay mod for street riding. What it does, it takes away virtually all of your engine braking, okay? My understanding is the bypass switch fools the computer into thinking that the clutch is pulled in all the time. So when it's out and you let off the gas, you coast just like you would if you pull the clutch in and let off the gas. So what I noticed, I took the switch off and went back to stock for when I did the Smokey Mountain 500, because definitely if you're going to be doing dirt riding, trail riding, and I think even really mountainous road riding, that take the bypass switch back off. And that way you've got your engine brake and you're not solely relying strictly on your front and rear brake, doing the trails and everything. So like I said, if I let off now, you might have heard the boom, how it bogs down. But that's the engine braking kicking in. Now if the clutch bypass switch was on, you wouldn't hear that. It would be, let me see if I can do it here. All right, so if the clutch bypass switch was on, it would virtually be like this. You don't hear that brrr, like that when I drop the clutch. So it's just something, it's not a bad thing, not necessarily a great thing. It's just, I think your riding preference on having it. If I was doing a long road trip or something, maybe I would put it on and roll with it.